There is a notification sitting somewhere on your device right now, an update you haven't applied, a setting you haven't checked. This module is the most practically actionable and part-free. It gives you a 6-measure baseline that every device you own, personal or work, should meet. It explains why the WannaCry disaster was almost entirely preventable. And it ends with 2 actions you can take in the next 15 minutes. Some security improvements take months to implement. These take minutes. Everything else in this course, your accounts, your data, your communications, passes through your devices. Your phone knows where you are, who you talk to, and what you buy. Your laptop contains your work files, your browser history, your saved passwords, and your access to corporate systems. A compromised device is not just an inconvenience. It is a window into everything you do digitally. And the most common ways devices get compromised are not sophisticated exploits dreamed up by elite hackers. They are unpatched software vulnerabilities, absent screen locks, absent encryption, problems with known solutions, solutions that require nothing more than consistent habits to implement. Start with the habit that most people get wrong. The update notification sitting in the corner of your screen is not asking you to download new features. It is telling you that a security flaw has been discovered in your software, that the flaw has been fixed, and that until you apply the fix, your device has a known, documented vulnerability that attackers can exploit. And every time you dismiss that notification, you are making a security decision. The decision that the inconvenience of restarting your device now outweighs the risk of running a known, unpatched vulnerability. For most security patches, that calculation is wrong. Not all updates are equally urgent. Security patches which fix vulnerabilities that could be exploited to gain access, run malicious code, or steal data are critical. Apply them immediately or within 48 hours for actively exploited vulnerabilities. The gap between a patch release and active exploitation has shrunk to days. Bug fixes are high priority. Apply within a few weeks. Feature updates carry no immediate security impact, unless they also include security fixes. Operating system upgrades become important as older versions approach end of life. More on that shortly. The practical resolution: enable automatic updates on every device you own. Let the device update overnight when you are not using it. The 5 minutes of inconvenience costs less than the cost of being compromised. 6 measures together constitute a well-protected device. Check your own devices against this list while you listen. 1. Automatic updates enabled. On your laptop, Settings, then Update or Software Update. On your phone, Settings, then General, then Software Update on iOS, or Settings, System Update on Android. If automatic updates are not on, turn them on now. 2. Screen lock with a strong PIN or password. On your laptop, use a password, not just a PIN. Set auto lock after no more than 5 minutes of inactivity. On your phone, use biometric plus a 6-digit PIN as a minimum. Set auto lock to 1 or 2 minutes. A screen lock protects your device and data from physical access if it is lost or stolen. Without it, everything on the device is accessible to whoever picks it up. 3. Full disk encryption enabled. On Windows, search for BitLocker in the Start menu. On macOS, System Settings, Privacy and Security, File Vault. On iOS, encryption is enabled automatically when a passcode is set. On Android, usually enabled by default on modern devices. Full disk encryption makes the data on a lost or stolen device unreadable without the password. Even if someone removes the drive and connects it to another computer, the data remains encrypted and inaccessible. 4. Anti-malware active. On Windows, Windows Defender is built in and sufficient for most users. Keep it enabled. On macOS, Xprotect is built in. On mobile, sandboxed apps and official app stores provide significant protection. Never sideload apps outside official stores. 5. Remote wipe capability enabled. On Windows, find My Device in your account settings. On macOS, find My in iCloud. On iPhone, find My iPhone in iCloud. On Android, find My Device in your Google account. This allows you to erase all data remotely if the device is lost or stolen. 6. Firewall enabled. On Windows, Windows Defender. Firewall is on by default. On macOS, System Settings, Network, Firewall. On mobile, both iOS and Android have built-in firewalls. No action needed on modern phones. If any of these are not currently in place on your devices, the next 10 minutes fixing them will be the most impactful 10 minutes of this entire course. Every piece of software and every operating system eventually reaches end of life, the point at which the vendor stops releasing security updates. After that date, any vulnerability discovered in that software remains permanently unpatched. Attackers know the end-of-life dates. They stockpile exploits for end-of-life software specifically because they know the vulnerabilities will never be fixed. Some examples that directly affect a significant number of devices right now. Windows 10 reached end of life in October 2025. From that date, Microsoft stopped releasing security patches. Any vulnerability discovered after that date remains permanently unpatched on every device still running Windows 10. If you are still on Windows 10, upgrading to Windows 11 or moving to a supported operating system is not optional. Windows 7 and 8.1 are already end of life. There are thousands of documented, publicly known vulnerabilities with no patches available. They are being actively exploited. Running these systems with any internet connection is indefensible. For iOS and Android, older versions stop receiving security updates before newer ones. The specific cutoff depends on the device manufacturer. If your phone can no longer receive the current operating system version, its security is falling behind every day. For browsers, Internet Explorer is end of life. Do not use it for anything. Keep Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge updated. An unpatched browser is the primary interface with the Internet, an open door to drive-by malware and credential theft. Physical security is equally important and equally overlooked. A screen lock with auto-lock after a few minutes protects against opportunistic physical access. Someone picking up your unlocked phone, someone sitting at your unattended laptop. The lock takes 3 seconds to set. The habit of locking before stepping away takes a week to build. It then becomes automatic. Never leave devices unattended in public. A laptop in a coffee shop, a phone on a restaurant table. An unattended, unlocked device can be accessed in seconds, credentials harvested, malware installed, files copied, on public USB charging at airports, hotels, coffee shops. These have been used to deliver malware through a technique called juice jacking. If given the option, always choose charge only rather than trust. Carry your own charger when possible. A USB data blocker, an inexpensive device that lets power through but blocks data pins, removes the risk entirely. Bring your own device using personal phones, laptops, or tablets to access work systems is now standard in most organizations. It is convenient, saves costs, and reflects how people actually work. It also introduces a specific security challenge. The organization assumes work data is being handled on a device that meets minimum security standards. The individual may not know what those standards are, or may not have applied them to a personal device they also use for gaming, banking, and family photos. 3 scenarios to think through. If your personal phone receives work email or accesses work systems, apply the same screen lock, encryption, and update standards as a work device. Your phone is now a work device, whatever the label says. If you store work files on personal cloud storage, personal Google Drive, Dropbox, iCloud, apply access controls and MFA on that cloud storage. Ideally, do not mix personal and work files in unsecured shared folders. The organization needs to be able to find, protect, and if necessary, delete that data, and cannot do so if it is in your personal cloud account. If you use a personal laptop for remote work, ensure anti-malware, full disk encryption, OS updates, and screen lock are in place as a minimum. Use your organization's VPN as directed. The cleaner the separation between work and personal use, the lower the risk. And the 2 actions to close this module. First, enable automatic updates on every device you own. Go to Settings on your phone, laptop, and any other device you use regularly. Find the update settings. Turn on automatic updates. 5 minutes across all your devices. Single highest return action in this module. Second, check full disk encryption on your laptop. On Windows, search for BitLocker in the Start menu. On macOS, System Settings, Privacy and Security, File Vault. If it is off, turn it on. On a modern SSD, encryption completes in the background within a few hours and has no measurable impact on performance. Do those 2 things before Module 12, not later, now. Alright, before we move on, here are the 3 things from this module I want you to hold on to. Number 1, every update notification is a security decision. Security patches should be applied within 48 hours. Enable automatic updates and the decision disappears. Number 2, full disk encryption means a stolen laptop's drive connected to another computer is unreadable. It is the essential defense for lost or stolen hardware. Number 3, end-of-life software has permanently unpatched vulnerabilities. Running it without internet access is indefensible. Now, before you move on, there is one question. A vulnerability in a widely used operating system is published. A patch is released the same day. 3 weeks later, an organization that has not applied the patch is breached through that exact vulnerability. Which device security principle was not followed? The correct answer is B. Once a vulnerability is published and patched, every organization that has not applied that patch is running a documented, known vulnerability. Attackers read the same vulnerability databases. A 3-week window is an enormous attack surface. WannaCry exploited a vulnerability patched 2 months earlier. The defense is not complicated. Enable automatic updates or have a structured patch management process that applies critical patches within 48 hours. Next up, Module 12, Encryption. See you there.